folks, welcome back. Doing a little early start tonight because we got a lot to cover. I'm sure you guys have all been watching the reports all throughout the day about our explosion here at Merapi. Look at this right here. That is crazy right there. It's a huge blast. Alright, so let's come over to our solar report and get started here. Okay, as this loads up here we are, December 3rd, 2023. And you can see we've had some activity on the sun today. It's going a little fast. Let me slow this down. There we go. Okay. Whoops. Starting right here. That's our opening event. Something going on there. We'll go through this frame by frame. Another one over here. Okay, there we go. It's a little skippy tonight. All right. What's going on here? Oh, okay, there it goes. All right, so let me get something to drink here. I hope everybody's doing good tonight. Hopefully everybody's starting to feel the season's cheer, the holiday cheer. I know there's a lot of stress going on with holiday shopping and getting the cards out and everything, so just thank you for taking a bit of your time here to come here and find out what's going on. Alright, anyways, let's move on here. Let me get this set up for everybody here. Opening frame. Whoops, I missed it there. Try it again when it comes back around. Alright, why is this button not working here? Let's just pull it down a little bit more then. Okay. Let's back up a couple of frames here to our opening frame. Right, boom, right here. Let's scooch this down just a tad bit. Okay, you can see our opening frame right here, 12/3/2023. And you can see our CME starting to come out from behind the occulter over here on this side as well. Boom, comes out. You can see over here we have our central object still wrapped in a bunch of plasma right there, okay? You can see the magnetic field around it, how it's taken the plasma, stretched it out around it, and it's actually latched onto some itself, and it's still stringing back behind it there. Then it finally kind of snaps and releases. There's a good shot of it right there. Pull this over just a little bit. Okay, you can make out our dark, round, spherical object right here, right in front of the instrument reading right there. This is probably the shadow, the ghost image of it, just a frame behind. So, there's your object right there that induced this CME. Right there. Okay, let's keep going. As that moves out of frame, we got this one erupting over here on the left. Alright, that one looks to be coming like in our direction semi. It might be out in front of us, this last one right here. So we'll go through that a little bit. Another trailing object right here. Then we have this slow motion CME going on up here at this bright spot region, this little spire area. Another something coming out over on this side here. Let me scooch that over. Make out something up here maybe. Then we have another slow event right here. Something going right there. You see the V-shape, wake coming off of that one. This one really starting to look like an eye or something in this image right here. Doesn't that kind of look like an eye looking at you with the eyelid right here? So there's this object over here doing its thing. You can see it has a bow shock on it, and the material's going over it faster than it's moving out. So pretty creepy little eye staring at you right there. Okay, so back up again here. I don't make this stuff up. Come over to this instrument and start going through this. It's just, all right, so you see it kind of leaving the frame there. All right, so let's put this back into motion here. We got that event. A couple little trailers. This slow motion one over here. Okay, so, oh wait, it's probably pretty good right there. Let me just tint this out, maybe just a little bit better here. Alright, and I had it sped up because you can see this one over here, the slow motion one, a little clearer. Everything else just kind of zips right out of frame, but I want to do that real quick for you. So you can see this one, and then the slow motion event happening here as well. Here, let me scroll up a little bit better. There we go. Okay, so we got this slow motion event that's still yet to erupt. It's still got this spire growing more and more intense throughout the day. All right, boom. Let me slow that back down a little bit. Is that a regular speed? Yeah, that's probably it. Okay, now before we leave this day, I want to go back and visit the first, because whatever came off the sun the first is what's going to affect us tomorrow on the 4th. And boy, do we have more inbound energy coming our way. This is the first. We just recovered this just the other night, okay? And make out that one object, but this blast right here, this one, there's a secondary, there's one, a third right there. So it looks to be, you know, a lot of energy coming this way. Also, when we go and visit another site, we're going to take a look at the first on the Enlil spiral, okay? And it'll show this blast, but it doesn't show any of these other ones. Now, I'll let you guys kind of look at that, and you be the judge of what trajectory do you think that this is coming, that these are coming, that that's coming at, all right? And that looks to be like a 1, 2, 3 punch in one day. 3 little blasts that all might merge into one. That's what might cannibalize, is all 3 of these little blasts in the same day right here. But you can make out this one over here. Where's a good shot of it? There's a good shot of this one. Alright, I'm talking about this one right here, not the shadow back here. This is our object. You can see the instrumentation reacting to our round object. You can see there's still plasma damming up, or, you know, covering part of it right here. But there's your object right there. That's what came off the sun on the first, heading our way, I believe, because all the other CMEs, the other CME from this day, they have coming our direction. So the rest of these look to be kind of coming our direction as well. So let's just kind of go through this day a little slower here, so everybody can kind of wrap their mind around this one. Okay, let me get to the opening frame here. We're going backward in time, folks. All right. Opening frame is like right here. Okay. Let me just adjust this so you guys can see as much as possible while using the buttons. Opening frame 024 of December 1st. This is the energy due to hit us on the 4th. Okay, so tomorrow. So look at what's already starting right here. Opening frame, this blast right here. And let me kind of do that for you. Okay, slowly we'll go through this. So this is the first blast that I'm kind of concerned about that seems to be coming out in front of us, maybe down lower, but still kind of in our direction. That one I'm not too concerned about. Here's a secondary. Well, that's a slow motion thing, but watch. Yeah, this wave right here, this little jet, also something sneaking out over here. Here's another impulse right here. Here comes this event right here. Boom. You see the big wave that's, the big magnetic field and the bubble of plasma that is taken with it, and all the stuff that's behind it. So if this passes, behind us, just directly, skims us or whatever, all this plasma right here is going to be coming along with it, all right? So I want you to kind of think about that for a second. That's all due tomorrow. Let me scroll back down a little bit. All right, you see this little field of plasma right here is still illuminated. So let's very methodically go through this. All right, and that looks to be going behind and maybe below the planet. But this is the one that they show interacting with the planet here in another instrument when we get to that in a second here. All right. Now, let's start this into motion again. Oh, because we have the blast at the end. I missed the blast at the end there. Let's continue on here. This right here. This is a good sized blast too. It looks like we could possibly catch that little segment of it right there. And that's the last frame of it right there. All right, so a lot, and this looks to be maybe our bigger object in the background with some moons trailing along it with it. Anyways, so the fourth, I'm very concerned about the energy that's inbound from the first, okay? That's why I'm meticulously going through this, because we have to really paint a picture here so you'll understand what's coming next, you guys, okay? Oh, speaking, you can see this one up here with its little bow shock as well. All right, you see this one right here? Dark shaded circle. We zoomed in on that one last time as well, so possibly a lot of inbound energy coming for the fourth. All right, a lot more so than what they're calling for. They're calling for some tomorrow too. All right, so we'll watch carefully. They're pretty good at predicting the level event, but I don't know if they're just taking into consideration just this one and not the rest of these. Let me start that again. If they're just counting this one and not this opening one, this one, a second one there, that's the only one that seems to show up on their monitor. Okay, so when we go to it, you'll see what I'm saying. So I want you to keep this in the back of your mind, all this energy and activity over here in the back of your mind when we see this show up on their tracker, when we go to the tracker, okay? So that's it for this instrument. Now we need to get over here quick. All right, cool. The auroras are calming down a little bit. They were a little more intense. There started to be a little band of yellow, but it faded already. So we took just a slight little, little glancing blow here, but it's already dissipated. We are still in a semi-mild absorption event. We still got auroras. Just because they're not yellow, we're still absorbing energy, okay? This faded earlier, and then we had a resurgent of it. It started to get a little bit bright yellow. I thought, geez, by the time I do the show, it's probably going to be in red. Probably if I waited another hour to do it at midnight, it would be. But we'll see. Hopefully it just stays like that. But that's your current aurora right now. You see we coming back from this event that we had. We dropped way down. We had another little event here. But, sorry about that. And then we're at a normal activity right now. All right, let me open up this tracker now, because this is not This is supposed to be today's event, not the first. Okay, so let me get this zoomed in for you there. And I showed you all the activity that came off the sun today, right? And this just shows one small weak little impulse going to the side right here. All right. Boom. So hopefully nothing too major coming our way. At least that's what they're showing right here. I'm a little concerned with what I saw already, on the satellite. But we'll see if this gets updated or something. All right. Let me get back out of this. I want to get over to the other one here. All right. So we have inbound CME coming tomorrow. I want to. Whoops. One more back. There we go. So there's all that. I'd read. Oh, here. Is this? No, that's not the article I want. Okay, this is what I want real quick. So December 4th over here, they're predicting a G2 storm. All right. Now that's pretty healthy storm, but I showed you all the other little impacts that are coming with it. So they're projecting a G2. It might be a little bit stronger. I'll show you kind of why here. I already showed you the multiple CMEs. Then the next day on the 5th, there's another G1. So we're getting hit again, back to back again, with a G2 and a G1 predicted. All right, we'll see what comes in. Now, I want to come over here real quick. Zoom in on this. We didn't do this first off, but let's just do it now. Okay, here goes X-ray flux. All right, so you can see we've had another event right here, almost an M-class flare for going into the 4th now. All right, so we could even go take a sneak peek at that. You guys want to take a sneak peek at that? No? Well, we're going to go anyway. So here's the 4th. Let me just refresh this so we get the last frames in case there's been some updated frames. All right, so here comes the 4th. It's not much. It's 12 frames. But, ooh, you can see this one over here on the side. Wow. Let me pause this for a second here and back this up. Just a little sneak peek at the 4th already. You see the instrument reacting to this one already. It's just draped all around this object right here. Let me get the best frame possible here. Maybe that one right there. Just real quick while we're here, zoom in on it. We got a lot to cover, so I shouldn't be wasting time here, but you can see here we go with another event, some object induced another event coming off the left-hand side of the sun here. So that's already a sneak peek into the 4th there. I knew you guys would want to do that. All right, so that's this event right here, this spike. That's your little M-class, is that object that we just looked at coming off the sun right there. All right, so bingo. Let's talk about our big old coronal hole. Now it's not center longitude anymore. It's starting to rotate away, but the wind from it is going to be hitting us here soon. So not only do we have inbound energy, but right behind that impact, we have high-speed solar wind impact hitting that as well. So keep that in the back of your mind too when we get over to the earthquake report later on. Of all this energy, back to back, we got that solar flare from or the CME. Then the next following day we have this. All right, so that's why I believe that they're going to say G2 and G1. All right, I'm thinking this might actually be a little bit stronger event, and we'll keep going here. I'll show you why. 3500 finally rotating out of view, or rotating out of the strike zone a little bit there. Okay, the X flare potential went down to 5%. All right. Anything else? Still beautiful. Auroras going on all over the place. They're beautiful, but they're dangerous. That's a sign of the Earth taking an impact and absorbing it. And this energy, gets collected up in the ionosphere up here in the auroras, and then gets sent from the poles down to the core. All right, we gotta move on. This is the one I wanted. All right. Cool. So, Earth's magnetic field is about to receive a double blow. First, on the 4th, a high-speed stream of solar wind flowing from a coronal hole will arrive. Then on the 5th, an off-target CME. All right, so let's open up this off-target CME that they're talking about. All right, this is the one that came off on the 1st that I'm concerned about. All right, it's brushing right by the Earth right there, and when you take a look over here, it makes impact. All right, you don't need to be right in the middle of the wall for it to have, to take an impact. Let's come over to this one too. Watch right there. See right. Sorry. There we go. Now you can see all three at the same time. So I'll let you watch this for a second. And this is what's due to hit us tomorrow. I believe tomorrow, because this is what came off the sun on the 1st. I think this will hit us before the wind from the coronal hole. Okay. All right, so let me back out of that. If it'll let me. There we go. All right. So I agree with these guys. I think we're going to have a double impact on the 4th and the 5th. I think the 5th might be from the coronal hole. The 4th, it might be from that CME. All right. We already went through that. Their combined effect could cause a G1 minor to G2 moderate storm. Okay. That's where I disagree. I think it might be a little bit stronger. All right, we'll see. I pray I'm wrong. All right, I don't like to be the bearer of doom and gloom. I hope I'm wrong, but I have a feeling this could have the possibility this G2 could be a little bit stronger than predicted, especially with this giant hole here too. All right, backing it up. This is a coronal hole, a region in the sun's atmosphere where magnetic fields have opened up, allowing the solar wind to escape. The hole looks dark because hot glowing gas normally contained there is missing. The gaseous material is on its way to Earth. All right. The solar wind is due to arrive December 4th or 5th. See, now they say or 5th. Together with the glancing blow and CME, it could spark the 1 to 2 storm. All right. So if they combine together, kind of cannibalize this, the solar wind coming out of this thing combines with the CME, we could get a one big punch or another double punch. All right, like we got last time. Whew. Now we need to come over to the Schumann, because look what's going on now. Okay, let me just kind of pull this center a little bit better. Scooch this in. I gotta do all this because this site will not let me zoom in. All right. Actually, I kind of want to back up for a second because I want to talk about the rest of the graph for a minute. So you can see over here, this is the scrubbing event that we started to have, and then I was expecting a big blast like this to happen right about here. We started having an event, but then we had the earthquake and the swarm and everything of earthquakes, all right? Then it kind of got weak for a minute, came back, got weak again right here, and now this appears to be from our original first blast the other day. It got a break, and then here's the second blast. So what usually shows up a lot sooner is like one of the first indicators, ended up being a little late, I believe, because we've had this huge earthquake swarm and release of energy, plus the new volcano, all right? So, but look, at the current moment, right now, we are undergoing a big old event, all right? There's a lot of pressure still built up underneath, is what I'm trying to what this is trying to say right here. Okay, even though we had the big earthquake, the series of earthquakes and everything, the big blast from the volcano and everything, it's still screeching down below. There's still pressure down there. All right, so there's still this pressure down there that already caused this mayhem already. Plus, we have what's coming in on the 4th. All right, I expect to see this. We might have another break, and then we'll have another blast from when we absorb more energy. All right. So here's your Schumann resonance giving you indications that our core and the shell grinding on each other right now because of all the energy that Earth has absorbed. All right. This squealing goes on. It emanates from the crust, goes out into space, bounces off the ionosphere, and comes back down. And we pick up the echoes. This detects the echoes and the hum of the geomagnetic dynamo that's inside the core. This is the 7.8 frequency that we hum at. And when you see these big intense blasts, that's intense 7.83 and all these frequencies. So if you're feeling rattled or feeling sick or feeling pain and confusion, any kind of, weird mood swings and stuff, this is why. Here you were doing fine, then something agitated your brain, and then you did fine for a little while, and then another thing agitated your brain. So if you're wondering why your mind has been flip-flopping lately, that's your brain right there. That affects all the animals, your brain, everybody. So anyways, this is our Schumann for the moment, and we're going to have to watch this closely now because this screeching is still continuing. Here, I'll even refresh this to see if we get one more strand tapped onto the end right there. Oh, we did. Look, it's tapering off here. See, we were like left off right here. So you can see with this latest data, let me pull that in again for you. Well, you can see from there. It's kind of tapered off now. That's good. So it seems to be that our double impact has taken a little longer to show up on this instrument, but I believe this is what we're seeing right now is, the double impact from the other day finally taking effect on the core. Okay, we had a little relief valve right about here when that huge earthquake and all the flurry went off, and we got more coming on that one too. All right, so we'll get to the earthquake report. I believe we may have had a little relief of pressure there, and then eventually as we absorb more and more, it starts to grind again. Anyhow, there's your latest Schumann, and it seems to be coming out of it. It'll probably come out nice and vibrant, and then we'll have a little weakening. We'll have a little dark patch, and I believe we still had more energy coming in, so I expect to see another event like this pop off here probably in the next day or so, or maybe even in the next few hours. Okay, so there's your Schumann. Now, let's see. We need to get over here to the earthquakes because we got a lot to cover tonight. So, first off, let's just get into the dirt here, right? Because this has been our main event right here. And there's not much else going on to report. Okay? So, as we get closer in on this event, you can see that this is all today's activity. All right, so we had another huge flurry of huge quakes, decent sized quakes. The biggest of them right here, 6.6. No, there was a 6.9 up here. All right, so they had. Let me back this out so you guys can get it all. There we go. My bad. So here's your 6.9 down at a depth of 30.5. On the map earlier today, I saw another quake on this plate, a 7.0 on this plate right before this quake. It still manages to pop up every once in a while and disappear. I managed to get a screen capture of it. And what did I do with that? That's right here. Hope I didn't X out of it. Come on, just pop it up. I put it on my community page here. If this will, we got a little circle spinning. Oh dear. Come on now. Oh, I just wanted to show you that we had. Come on now. All right, here I posted it 7.0, and I want you to take note. See the red boundary line? Okay, here's our series of quakes earlier today, during the day. Our 6.9 is just like right underneath this this tag. And while I could capture it, I took this screen capture 7.0, and it was at a depth of 10. Yeah, and it has a timestamp that's right after the 6.9, but it's on the other plate. Now, when we go to the instrument, sometimes this quake pops back on there and then disappears, and then it'll pop back on there and disappear. But while it was on there, I thought I would show you a 7.0 on the other plate. All right, I kind of have an idea why they would want that one off of there. Now, going back to the earthquake report here, all right, so this 6.9 had a 7.0 on this plate right over here, okay? And it was just a few minutes after this one, at a different depth, at a different time, okay? Now, this flurry, started up today, and then it died out for a while, and then it started up again. Kind of like the Schumann, how it started up and then died down and started up again, all right? So you're starting to see the little rhythm these are all following this pattern, this rhythm pattern of impact, relief, another impact, and results, right? So now we're picking up in activity again. This is lately it's a 5.0. And a while back, they were dropping and diminishing in magnitude. Now they are kind of climbing back up. All right. Now, let me get in here somewhere and just find some of these better quakes here. All right. So there's our recent one. This is the 6.6 at a depth of 52. All right. This 6.9. Watch this. You open up the tsunami alert. And it says, if it'll open, oh, what does that say? Oh, it said 7.0, didn't it? Still says 7. All right. So I believe that was a 7, and that there was possibly another 7 right across from it, right over here on the other side of the plate, because it was at a different depth and just a couple minutes after this one. If it was at the same time and at the same depth or something, that would be one thing. But anyways, you can see quite the mess here, and most of them are 5.4. You got 5.1, 5.0, a lot of 5s, 5.4. So just this huge mess of 5s. The smaller ones are mid-range 8s. Mid-range 4s, that's 4.8, 4.9. So they're almost 5s themselves here. 4.8 down here, 5.4 down here, 5.1. So huge flurry of quakes again right here in this region. Okay, now what I'm going to do while we're here, so I'm going to put on the other yesterday's too. Okay. Take this off as if the map wasn't cluttered enough, right? But I want you to kind of get an idea of how many quakes have been now over the past 2 days in this region right here. All right, it's released a huge amount of energy. We have a brand new weak spot here in the crust, and this seems to be our epicenter of where energy is being vented. All right, released, vented. It's like a focal point right now of energy release. And when I take this off this, now watch how that whole map just went blank, didn't it? In fact, the whole area is quiet, except for this little region right over here where we had that activity before, a 4.8. But look, no deep quake today. This over here, 4.5. All the energy is going off right here and right here with Merapi. Now, there's two Merapis. I'm sure you guys have all learned that by now, watching some of the other shows. And we're going to take you in there a little bit here because I got something to show you. All right, here we are right here. And this is Marapi, not, it's Marapi, not Merapi. So we have right here is our volcano that went off today, right? And if you look around this area, here's another one right here. Here's another one right here with the sub one right next to it and stuff, right? So this area is pretty volcanic, huh? Do you see what I see? Dutch would flip, dude. I don't know if he's ever talked about this area, but this big ass volcano right here with a caldera that's collapsed and a lake that's formed in it. You can even see where the wall has collapsed and lava flew out one time here and flowed out over here. This is an old ancient volcano right next to all this right here, okay? And this is the one that went off today right here. So I would suggest these people around this region might want to keep very alert. And this thing looks ancient. When it went off, it was a big call. It was a big, huge volcano. Look at the rim of it right here. And you want to see something here? Let's just go zoom in for fun. I'm from Lake Tahoe, all right? And this reminds me a lot of Lake Tahoe because it's a rim of mountains with the lake down, down inside of it. And here, let me just, it's not Lake Tahoe, but let me just kind of show you. You can see the crater rim right here. You're all downhill. And here's this town with boat docks and a little street running along the edge here of this lake that's inside the rim of this giant volcano. This is the old caldera. Now do you see it? So, and this is where we had our new volcano go off, all right? So, these are the two epicenters of our energy release, okay? It seems to be a lot of the other energy is very, minor in magnitude, still kind of skirting up this side to, fill in the gaps here on that side, 4.9 there. Really blanking here because these volcanoes are going off up here as well. Okay, so a lot of these blank spots are actually filled in with volcano activity. And we've had another new volcano added to the list besides Merapi today as well. So when we get into that, just real quick, finish off the map. There was a quake here earlier today, right here on this fracture zone now. We've been having quakes here by this little old ancient volcano. One's on the other side of this compression zone right here. And now there was a quake right there. Let me just bring it up real quick because I know it's right there. It just dropped off the map because so many other quakes. That other epicenter knocks everything else off the map because there's so many happening there. So there was this quake today. See how we had the one here by the volcano, one right next to it. We reported these two last night. This is the other day. Now we've had one right on the plate boundary, right there, okay, right on the fault line. So some movement going on up in this region now. Instead of being over here at the fulcrum point, the energy is backed up and is being released back up in here and over in there. Sometimes it skips over. It's been hitting over here in the Himalayas every once in a while, but right now, this is an old quake. This is earlier this week. Right now, when I take this off, you'll see that it's very blank in that region, all right? Very quiet. We've had one right here. All right, 4.6. So, what I think might be happening here soon. Let's just get into these. 4.3, depth of 70 in Greece, and a 4.6 here at Romania. There was some other activity. Ooh, what happened here? 3.1 at Ocotillo again. All right, I think what's kind of going on here is these two spots have been the weakest spots and have been venting most of the energy, subduing the quake, magnitude for the rest of the planet. When you come over here to the fulcrum point over here, this is where we see usually matching, magnitude. It's 4.3. That should be like 5.5 or 6. So it's not. The big quake that came out of this area, if it was just one big quake, usually would push energy and we'd see something, bounce over here. Even this three-way fulcrum point. In fact, there was a quake there earlier today, and where did it go? Just want to talk about it too. There was one right here, magnitude 5 right there a little while ago. It seems to be missing now. A lot of different things happening with this site today. So anyways, let me get it off of this and back to our regular setting. All right, so just these small little quakes, one right here, which is kind of quiet for that region. All right, we do see a little energy being released over here at California here, so we'll have to keep an eye on this, but everything else seems to be very blank. Now with this new inbound energy, I expect to see this region just to continue going off. I expect to see this volcano over here to continue to go off. And when we get into our volcano report here, in just a minute, we'll talk about that. All right, now let's just check this latest quake. 5.0. Okay, so we're currently having quakes at a 5 magnitude right now, and with more energy coming in, and the Schumann showing you that it's still bound up energy in there, we're gonna see more quakes. We're gonna see this continue, and this side of the line has not been filled in. Now I think if we see a stoppage of quakes here, and this kind of calms down, we might see this branch start to move again a little bit. But for the meantime, this seems to have knocked out all the energy going up this side of the branch of the system right here. Still little creepers on this side. We might even see a significant event in this area, because this is still kind of rumbling right there down at 171. Not really deep, but that was our new little active zone, weak zone that had emerged in the recent past here. And any of these little weak zones that have emerged in like the last month or so would be spots to watch for our big quake. I bet you we got another big one coming here for this area. All right, with the new bound energy and our new weak spot. And you can see that this is almost more than a quake swarm. This is just a bunch of earthquakes all in one area. This is a swarm gone mad here, especially when we put all the other ones on there. Bingo. That's just probably over 200 quakes by now. I heard people saying earlier today 120 at the moment, and it just kept climbing and climbing. So we have our new weak spot, all right? And that's significant. Something else I wanted to talk about too. I really don't like to put it out there, but we do need to address the subject. I want you to look at the location of this spot. If we were to have a big 8, 9 possible come out of this and cause a tsunami, all right? Tsunami's going to spread out in a circle and just devastate everything in this region. A lot of these islands it's going to bounce off of. They're going to get twice the height when it reverberates off this cove and comes back, smashes into the wave coming in here. So you'll see all kinds of different wave heights and just raw devastation right in that area, even on the backside of these. Then the central location of this in the ring of fire, imagine the arc coming out like this, and then coming out like this, and then coming out like this, and then it would just strike it. The tsunami from this would strike all this coastline all the way around. All right, it's really kind of a bad spot. I mean, the only other worse spot would be right in the middle. And it's just over from right in the middle. It's including this region here as well. Okay, so with newbound energy in, I'm expecting to see this continue, probably ramp up in magnitude. We might, if it shuts down for a while and pressure's allowed to build up there again, it could pop with another good sized quake again. Let me see if we can pull up that other magnitude one real quick here. I had a little trick that I was doing here. There it is. See this bubble right here? 7.0, baby. Yep, I got it to do it. There it is. All right, so there's your missing quake. 7.0 down at a depth of 10. This was on the 3rd at 11:50, 43 seconds. All right? And this one, if it'll let me zoom in. Come on, let me zoom in. Do you see? Whoops, right here. It's on the other plate. See this other quake we have on the other plate now? We're starting to have activity on the other side of the plate. I don't think they want that acknowledged too much. So I believe that we probably had this quake because it keeps popping up in there every once in a while. And here we got it to do it again. And it had a little tsunami alert on it. When I clicked on this, it said it was a 7.0 as well. All right. This depth was 10. The other one is totally different. All right. So there's your possible missing 7.0 quake right there. And if this is true, and this happened today, we've had a 7.0, 6.9, 6.6. Oh, it was right there. When I clicked, it disappeared. It was right above the 6.9 just a second ago, and now it's off the map. But here you can see we've just had all these huge quakes. The 6.9 plus that 7.0 that was on there. Whatever they're doing. 5.8s, mid-range 4s. Where's the other one? Oh, the 6.6 that was happened today, right here. Okay, so I think we had probably 3 major quakes today. 2 of them on this side and what appeared to be 1 on the other plate. Okay, I'll let you guys be the judge of that. We all know what goes on here sometimes. I'm not going to really get too much into it. I agree. I see a lot of changing of numbers. Hiding of stuff. So we'll just kind of go with what we got. All right. So major quake swarm, major volcanic activity. Now let's get over here to the volcano thing. And we'll do a volcano alert or report. Come on, computer. There we go. All right. So let me adjust this. I don't think we need all the ads. Khrushchevskoye up in Russia went off again, okay? Luotolo continues to go off. The effusive explosive eruption at the volcano continues at Lutolo. Krakatoa went off today. The intense eruptive phase at the volcano continues. Marapi with an A, M-A-R-A-P-I, our new volcano added to the active volcano list. That was the big blast today that we saw, all right? Not Merapi. That one's also going off as well. So we got 2, a Marapi and a Merapi. Popo went off again today. Nevada del Ruiz still has a volcanic ash advisory. Sangay had explosive activity continues, 20,000 feet. Reventador, volcanic ash advisory. Sabancaya still has explosive activity continues, up to 27,000 feet. Here's our other new one. It's Villarrica, but it has 2 L's and 2 R's. So it's Villarrica. Because the double L's is a Y sound, and the double R's you got to roll with your tongue. So Villarrica, all right, is our new volcano in central Chile with vigorous strombolian activity. Appeared last night at the volcano. Lava fountains blasted to perhaps 80 meters high. Even some lava jets up to 100 meters high. So there's a lot of pressure that made this brand new volcano pop. All right. So we've had not a bunch, but we've had a few of these volcanoes added to the active list now. This one, Villarrica. I'll have to get that one down. What was the other new one that I saw? Oh, Merapi. This is the other new one today. Krakatau is recently new. All right. And I think there was another one, but I can't find it. It was, where is it? It's on this list here. Uluwan is the one that had the big blast the other day, all right? Uluwan is the other new active volcano, all right? So we have got quite the list of active volcanoes going on. And these ones over here that are eruption warning with minor activity, all right, let's go through them. Bongana, that one, watch out. I'll show you on the map why we need to watch out for that one. This one, Great Sitkin up in Alaska, Kangaratang in Indonesia, Klychevskoy. Now this one was on alert and it erupted, so it should be over on this list in the red now. All right. Manam, this is a other new volcano. It's volcanic ash advisory on October 14th, so it seems to have calmed down, but watch for it to come alive again. Now, as we scroll down some more, here is Merapi, the one that went off today, was on the warning list, advisory or whatever, and now a sudden major explosion today. Now it should be over on this currently erupting list, all right? We also have Nishino Ashima. What was the other one I wanted to talk about? Where did it go? Iwo Jima. All right, we still got Iwo Jima going off and building an island here. All right, so we got a lot of activity. Etna's going off. We got Erta Ale going off. Arubis, Ebico, Ducono, Fuego. So we got a lot of volcanic activity going off right now with, semi-active ones becoming fully active now and coming online. All right. So now here we are over at their map here. We're at the new volcano here, Merapi. All right. And you can see that it's this orange. Here, let me get it to pop up. So it's in orange and it says minor activity or eruption warning. Well, they were right. It was about to erupt, and it did. So that's now should be turned red, okay, on this map. Again, here with this old caldera, you can really see it on this map right here. How the floor, you can see the floor of the caldera up here. It used to have water in it, and the water's receded. That's where they put the town and the, and the inhabitants and stuff in here. But with all these other volcanic vents right around it, you can tell this is an old volcano whose caldera has collapsed, all right? And let's pray that this does all the venting and it doesn't switch over to this thing. All right, this little town right here at the base here of Merapi, these are all the people that got covered with ash and rocks. This is a decent-sized city right there, so there's people in harm's way. We've got to pray for them. All right, so let me zoom back out of this map a little bit so we can move around a little bit here. Also in this vicinity is this volcano up here. It doesn't even have a name yet. The other volcanoes that were right next to it, we got to watch carefully. All right. Down here, this is the neighboring semi-active volcano, Carinci volcano. All right, with yellow unrest, but that might come back to life. It's in that area where we have activity going on. All right, I want to back out just a second, and right here, while we're at the same region here, please give me the gases back on this. Here we go. Come on. Load back up. Spinny, spinny. Hang on just a second here. Really? We need their gases. There it goes. All right. So let me get you over here. We're at the island of Java right here. Okay, and this is where Merapi and I think Tucano? No. Anyways, we got this pressure at this zone right here at this channel again, building, and then our volcano that went off is right up here, where you don't see a lot of pressure. See, this is venting and releasing pressure by emitting gas. We're up here, it was kind of white and dull, and there's no pressure being released, and that's where that volcano finally popped. It was right there. And I assume pretty soon we'll see a plume coming off of this region right here where that volcano went off. But as we pull back out, I wanted to just kind of show you things have darkened up. All right, you can see pressure building, maps getting darker. All right, we're still divided down the line here, down the middle. But you can see some of these places are darkening up a little bit, even over here in Europe. Especially the northern hemisphere. It seems the northern hemisphere has darkened up, and that could be because we're taking more of the energy, and maybe it's being dispersed a little more in the northern hemisphere than the southern. All right, so back to the volcanoes now. So this area right here had, a place where there was kind of blank of pressure, or a blank of gas emitting from the ground. So not always does gas emitting from the ground indicate the volcano going off. It's pressure from underneath. And we need to kind of go and look at all the weak spots that are around. Okay, we have these two that we just talked about. Now down here, we have the Krakatau that just went off, all right? We have Merapi with an E, and Semeru, that's the other one, sorry, Semeru, down at this end of the island, all right? These are all three in red, and if it'll let me get in just a tad bit closer, you'll see that there's a second one here in yellow, Bromo, all right? Watch for this one to possibly go off, all right? Because it's around these other ones that are active, even though they're releasing, energy right now. With inbound energy, look for these red ones to increase in activity and these yellow ones that are right close by them to possibly go fully active too. So here you would have two volcanoes right next to each other going off at the same time. Let's kind of scooch along this island chain here over to east right here. This is the other one we were talking about, Ainikila. Oh, this is going to be fun reporting on these. Watch this one. This one's already in red. This is Luotolo that I showed you erupting still. All right. We have to kind of, zoom back out so I can give you a little reference. All right, now back up here. This is where our quake swarm and everything is going on right off this island right here. And we're going to go just down below it, this little archipelago island right down below it has two volcanoes. That's Dukono right there, and Ibu. So two in red that are currently going off. We have this little tiny thing over here. It's probably just a little tiny island, Karangatang, and let's get really close on this here and see this feature over here if we can at Karangatang. Yeah, that's I'll have to find it on the other map where we got a little more detail. But yeah, just your typical volcano right there in orange. So that one could possibly go, next if we have more pressure coming in and this quake swarm kind of stops up. If that stops up, it would back up pressure coming up this way that would cause these to go off possibly. All right. And then here in the Philippines, let's go do their volcanoes because they have their own right here. Sorry, I'm zooming in and out. I should just leave it. All right. So here's where our big quake swarm is going off of this island. The nearest volcanoes right here. This one is Canalone. All right, so watch for this one to possibly become more active as more pressure comes into this region. Um, Bulusan. This one in yellow might become, more active or possibly go online. We have Mayon here. That'll probably have more activity. Tall volcano that's in yellow that might become more active. That's right outside of Manila. A lot of people, that's a big city right there. So, pray for people in Manila that this thing doesn't come to life and create havoc for them. All right, let me pull back out here. We have a couple out here, just little scattered islands. This is the Nisho Shinoshima and Iwo Jima out here building a new island, all right? Up here at the south end of Japan, we have Suwanoshi. What's this one? Kuchino Jurabu. All right, and the Kikai volcano. These two are in yellow. This one in orange. Let me zoom in a little bit better for you guys. There we go. So we got this one in orange, two in yellow right here. This one currently going off, Sakurajima. This one right next to it, watch for it. This is Kurashima. That one could possibly go. Aso. So we got to watch the island of Japan here because these volcanoes are all around this region where we're having our pressure release, okay? Thankfully, it's being released in the form of earthquakes. It should slow down the volcanic activity, but if for some reason this stops, gets jammed up, this earthquake swarm jams up, expect to see some of these things popping off, all right? Well, as we come back to our quake map here, note how blank it is in this region. Oops. Right there, all right? No earthquakes at all because all the energy is being released from this volcano right here. So, with this newbound energy, I expect to see this continue. It'll ramp up magnitude. We might see this continue, more explosions out of there. Some of these other volcanoes in this region that we just went over possibly becoming more active and coming to life. Other places where they're not having volcanic activity, you'll see earthquakes. A lot of this zone has been quiet for a while because there's been a lot of activity up here. In fact, we'll go up to that region now. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this a little bit. All right. Ebico down here, already in red. Currently Bizimani, currently Shivalush, currently this one in orange. This is Bizimani. No, we got to get closer so I can get my arrow on it better. Klychevskoy. All right, now Klychevskoy in orange should be red now. All right, because we saw a blast come out of it today. All right, so this map might need to be updated. But then as I pull back, we have 4 good volcanoes, good-sized volcanoes, all in eruption phase right here, right? Whoops, right where we're seeing our quiet area of earthquakes. No volcanoes going off, but we got earthquakes. Quiet area, we got volcanoes, all right? So watch these quiet areas might have volcanic activity if they don't release in earthquake form. Over here at Greece, we got a 4.3, and up here we have a 4.6 in Romania. This one's a 139. A little further down, we might see more activity come out of this region and try to make it to the Mid-Atlantic Ridge because it's been very quiet here. I would expect to see some earthquakes probably taking off again here in Iceland soon, and more possible volcanic activity there. In fact, let's go on over to the Iceland. There's the Greenland. There's the Iceland. All right, where's all the volcano? Wait, let me zoom it up. Maybe that's not it yet. There we go. All right, so our volcano here in yellow, that might come to life and become orange. All right, orange or red. We might be seeing more activity around Iceland, okay, because it seemed to be a weak spot there last go around. All right, so inbound energy, uptick in earthquakes, uptick in volcanoes. Watch out for tsunamis. All right, if we have one from that region, get off of there, please. You guys are the ones I need protection from. Yeah, here we go. All right. So, also something to be aware of now. Oops, not this one. Let me go back here a little bit. I want to talk about, we had Iwo Jima and some island building going on, right? We have underwater volcanic activity in this region, all right? Just because you don't see it on this map, it's underwater, all right? We could possibly see an underwater volcanic eruption that could cause a tsunami as well, all right? So I hate to keep using the T word there, but the alert is high. The risks are high right now, especially since we saw the big flurry of activity. All right, we've seen this big flurry of activity in response to the sun. Okay, these last few days have been a cookie cutter example of how this stuff works. I mean, it's been from the moment those CMEs came off, we all watched them come towards us. We counted down the days until it impacted. Then it impacted. Then we started waiting to see other results. Now here are all the other results. Okay, so now we're seeing the system and how it kind of works and how it comes to life and how things progress. All right. So I would watch out for possible new volcanoes still with inbound energy coming. Strengthening of magnitude of quakes in this area. It doesn't mean this area is scot-free, all right? Pressure from this could be pushing up this way, and you can see a big one snap at these fulcrum points. You can see a big one out here as well, okay? Some of these spaces haven't released a quake in a while, so maybe they're jammed up. If you got new energy pushing up through the system that hasn't released, this could be, its own little instigator of the system here going the rest of the way up. It seems to have shut it down because it's taking all the brunt, but watch out. Just because it's blank doesn't mean you're safe. All right, you're really close by to it. Over here, I would continue to see volcano activity going off on both these islands. All right, maybe even creeping up into this area. When we do have a quake in this region, it might be in this area right here where we saw our weaknesses, right on that fault line. It'll jump to this and drop off a couple of quakes up here like usual. Okay, so a lot of naked areas that are waiting on inbound energy. Down here at this volcano, the Michael volcano here at the Sandwich Islands, they're having a 5.1 down here as well. All right. Let's go to see our latest one really quick because we have a new red one here. 4.6. Okay, so just a few minutes ago when we had one, it was a 5.0. This one's 4.6. So you're seeing fluctuations between mid-range 4 and, mid-range 5 quakes fluctuating up and down here until we get a new dose of energy from the sun. Translates down to the core pushes back up through the mantle pushes back up, and we'll see another round coming out of this area, maybe even cracking open a new weak spot there might be a new hidden weak spot along this chain that we have yet to see cut loose yet. All right. So everybody on the Pacific Rim, I would be on high alert and watching earthquake activity, especially from this spot, and I'd be watching your own volcanic activity around your region. There are vents and old volcanoes that you would be surprised what's in your own backyard. So go research your own backyard and see where your closest possible spot would be, and monitor it. If you see a fire come out of that region where there's a volcanic vent there, you might want to pay attention. Whew. So a lot there, a lot going on, and this area, we're just going to continue to watch it. We're going to continue to watch the volcanoes over here. These people should probably kind of clear out of that area. If I were you, I would clear out of this area too, because we have more energy coming in. This is not over. We're going to see more. Okay? And in higher magnitude. We had a 7.6. If we see a higher magnitude than 7.6, that goes into 8 and 9 range. All right? Now, let's just pray. Let's go back over here. I want you to see the G2 prediction thing that they got going here. Right here. Let's pray that it is a G2 and not a G3 or anything stronger. This one dissipates and doesn't even happen. We could use the least amount of energy hitting us as possible. All right. Then we have this coming on the 7th, and whatever happens here this coming on the 6th. This energy, and whatever happens here coming on the 7th. All right. So we got a lot of stuff coming in. We got a lot. And then we have the weather. So not only does it affect the magma, the core, everything like that, it also affects our weather when we have this inbound energy and sometimes intensifies it. So here we go with our weather. I'm going to let this run for a second. I have to take a drink. All right, let me get you guys situated a little bit better, because a lot of our stuff seems to be going on the West Coast here with this atmospheric river effect going on here in Oregon. You guys prepare for flooding. Get ready, for mudslides on hilly, steep terrain. Atmospheric river is coming to you guys up here, all right? Now, let's pause right there. That's opening frame, current conditions. We have this snowstorm going on up here, back up here with all this moisture leaving the country right now. Small little impulse coming here with a chance of severe weather right there, but it dissipates in the morning of the 4th. Now, this is the day we have inbound energy coming, all right? So this is the noon time of the 4th. This is the end of convection, the 4th. Most of the country is going to dodge a bullet. In fact, the only thing that's really going to go on is this up here in the Great Northwest. And this is a big, severe patch with deep snow, snow on the backside, a lot of moisture right here. So this event right here is the one that's going to possibly be intensified by the incoming energy. So that'll be noontime, and then when the sun finally done with convection, then they blossom at their most right here. Severe weather up in Seattle, British Columbia, Vancouver. All right, you guys hold on tight right there, because it intensifies into the nighttime and actually turns red here. Let's just give them the one little zoom we can. Thank you. All right, let me do a little dance here. Maybe scoot you guys over this way. Well, trying to get as close in on this as we can. This is going to be nocturnal now. We are into the nighttime, all right? This is after the sun goes down, that convection right there. This is going to intensify into the nighttime. So on the 4th, you guys, it's already intensifying into the nighttime. We have that inbound energy showing up kind of late in the day that will probably affect this. All right, so hold on, people of Seattle. This is going to It's going to be a rager, I think. Um, Boom. Then as we go into the morning hours, it should be dissipating. It should be dissipating from the night to the morning, but what? It just kind of spreads out even more. It's not as intense, but we do have two bands of severe weather here, icing events on the front side of this, still snow pushing out in front of it, and this comma-shaped storm coming on shore here. All right, it scoots down a little bit during the noontime here, kind of spreads out, but from the Canadian border all the way back down through Washington, Oregon, and off the coast here is severe weather that just continues to push on shore during convection right there. It seems to dissipate. That's the noontime. Actually, that'll be 10 a.m. out west. So 10 a.m. there, 4 p.m. dissipating by sundown. I bet that'll change. But this is the 5th, all right? So we're into the 5th. So let me back up. Noon the 5th, convection the 5th, nighttime the 5th. Then we get into the morning of the 6th with still severe weather right here. Going into, where's my power cord? Plug back in a little bit. I don't want the battery to die mid-show. Little beep. Oh. Okay, I guess we're... No. Why did the charging stop? 1 second, folks. I just want to get plugged back in. We don't want this dying halfway through the report because I got more to go. So, just 1 second here. Get this plugged back in. There we go. All right, so severe weather still off the coast over here during the the morning of the 6th here. Then we go into, why is this not working? Oh. Alright, so I guess my temperature is too high on my phone to charge, so it might shut down here pretty soon. But anyways, let's just struggle through this real quick. Boom. This is the nighttime of the 6th now. The morning of the 7th, noon, convection, nighttime, the morning of the 8th, noon, convection, nighttime. This big low spinning up here is drawn, this tail right here, moisture coming up at the nighttime of the December 8th right there. This cold front slamming in behind it here, the morning of the 9th. That's the noontime of the 9th. Severe weather here at the end of convection on the 9th right there. Blossoming more at the nighttime into the night right there. Let's zoom in on that one. All right. All the way from Alabama through Tennessee, even back here to, what's this? Indiana, Ohio, even back to snow in Illinois. All right, so severe weather event going there on the nighttime of the 9th there. Nocturnal system moving through there. Even snow on the backside here. Still nocturnal storms in the morning of the 10th. There's the noontime of the 10th. Look at that. Ooh. Luckily that happens right offshore. If it doesn't, it could scrape the coast there a little bit with severe weather. And then moving offshore by the night of the 10th. Another impulse coming in up there. So let that loop play real quick. Boom, 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 boom. While I get my spiritual report ready here. Okay, so maybe I can access that one. I'm trying to clear a couple of little pages here so we can actually open up the spiritual report one. Come on now. Yeah, that's look at how that one kind of snapped in half right there. If that continues to stay in one unit there, that could be a problem. Alright, so since it's not going to cooperate, can I have a different one then? Alright, there it goes. Alright, so let's come on over here to my channel right there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that report right there. Let me switch back up and pull up an image for you guys to read to tonight. Hopefully some more of you guys are enjoying these readings. I know somebody out there really is. I'm not going to say their name, but I know who is. And if we could just get this image, Lord, we're almost there. Come on now. What's going on here? Alright, there's at least my page starting to open up. Come on, you can do it, spinny thing. There we go. Alright, let me pull up an image here for you guys. We've been doing the other one a lot. Let's do this one for tonight. Nope. Where'd it go? There it is. Alright, probably after their ad. Come on, ad, whatever. Alright, so let's freeze frame right there. Seems like a good spot. Most of you guys know this image. I've showed you many times. For those of you that are new here, you've got Jesus right here wearing sunglasses, I guess. Don't ask me why, but Jesus' face here. Here's his shoulders. He's pulling open his shirt and exposing his heart. His heart's radiating out these waves, and these waves are creating a face in the sky. Alright? But I don't want to focus on that face. I want you guys to focus on this image right here of Jesus right there. Alright. See his heart? Alright. Now, some light for me. Let's pray we got enough battery to make it through the reading. Is this the way we want to add that one first or last? Okay, that one's last. Alright, here we go. Pour all of your energy into trusting me. It is through trust that you stay connected to me, aware of my presence. Every step of your life journey can be a step of faith. Baby steps of trust are simple for you. You can take them with almost unconscious ease. Giant steps are another matter altogether. Leaping across chasms of smirkedness, scaling cliffs of uncertainty, trudging through the valley of the shadow of death. These feats require sheer concentration as well as utter commitment to me. Each of my children has a unique blend of temperament, a blend of temperament, giftedness, and life experiences. Something that is a baby step for you may be a giant step for another person, and vice versa. Only I know the difficulty or ease of each segment of your journey. Beware of trying to impress others by acting as if your giant steps are only baby ones. Do not judge others who hesitate in trembling fear before an act that would be easy for you. If each of my children would seek to please me above all else, fear of others' judgments would vanish, as would attempts to impress others. Focus your attention on the path just ahead of you and on the one who never leaves your side. Come to me and listen. Attune yourself to my voice and receive my richest blessing. Marvel at the wonder of communing with the Creator of the universe while sitting in the comfort of your home. Kings who reign on the earth tend to make themselves inaccessible. Ordinary people almost never gain an audience with them. Even dignitaries must plow through red tape and protocol in order to speak with royalty. Though I am king of the universe, I am totally accessible to you. I am with you wherever you are. Nothing can separate you from my presence. When I cried out from the cross, "It's finished," the curtain of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom. This opened the way for you to meet me face to face, with no need of protocol or priests. I, the King of Kings, am your constant companion. Do not let fear of mistakes immobilize you or make you anxious. In this life, you will err, sometimes because you're only human, with limited knowledge and understanding. When you're facing a major decision, learn as much as you can about the matter, seek my face and my help. I will guide you with my counsel as you think things out in my presence. When the time is right, go ahead and make the decision, even though the outcome is uncertain. Pray for my will to be done in this matter and release the results to me. Fear has to do with punishment. If you have been punished unjustly or severely mistreated, it is natural for you to dread making mistakes. When choices need to be made, anxiety can cloud your thinking, perhaps even immobilizing you. The remedy is to remember that I am with you and for you, that you don't have to perform well for me to keep me loving you. Absolutely nothing, including your worst mistakes, can separate you from my love. My judgments are unsearchable, and my paths are beyond tracing out. This is why trusting me is your best response to my ways with you. My wisdom and knowledge are too deep for me to explain myself to you. This should not be surprising, since I am infinite and eternal. I have always existed from everlasting to everlasting. I am God. I also know the world who became flesh and dwelt among you. I identify with mankind to the fullest extent, taking on a human body and dying a terrible death to save sinners who believe in me. My sacrificial life and death provide ample reason for you to trust me even when you don't understand my ways. You can rejoice that your loving Savior, as the sovereign Lord, is infinitely wise, and you can draw near me at any time by lovingly whispering my name. I am always within whispering distance, now and throughout your lifetime, and for eternity. Okay, I think that's it. Hopefully you guys got that. Are you really going to read something that I wrote but changed it to your own? Did you write that, Whitetail? Don't dismiss me. Come on, Drops. Go watch some of my videos. Okay. Alright, so let's thank some people here. First of all, Leslie, Jimmy, Drop. Thank you guys. Thank you all for taking some of your time out tonight to come here. Buckeye Jim. Alright. Jimmy's here. God. Isai was here. Thank you all for coming by. Hello. Okay, let's see. Oh, Neil was here. Okay. All right. Well, a few new people. Thank you for dropping by. I hope you all had a nice, good time. Learned a bunch. And then also, it's important that we all kind of, start taking this seriously here. We're seeing earthquakes. This massive swarm, for the moment, seems to be dying out. We don't have any new red ones. Okay, that's good. But high alert for this region. And we're not out of the tsunami zone yet. Okay, we got new inbound energy that could cause a bigger quake. And let's just pray that we don't see a tsunami in this region, everybody. Okay. I think that's it. I love you all. God bless you all. And until my next video, I'll be back.